All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting. This is for August 10th. I guess you are doing the minutes, Lorena?
Yes, I am.
Okay, since Beth is not here, Lorena will be doing the minutes tonight. If you could just note who is in attendance. All right. We're going to start with the approval of minutes. This would be minutes from our June 15th meeting. Did everybody get a copy? Okay. All right. If everybody's got a copy and everybody's read through, do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes of June as presented.
Thank you. All right, I have a motion,
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
and we have a second. Okay, do we have any further comment, discussion? Okay, we're good. All right, so those in favor of approval of the minutes as written from June 15th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're unanimous. All right, so now we're going to roll into our annual event of nomination and election of chair. Lorena. Oh, well, Judy.
I'm going to turn it over to Judy.
All right,
Yeah.
Judy's
All right,
up.
so we're looking for the nomination for the chair. We all know that the chair is a very, very important position because she is Lorena's right-hand person. We are needing someone who's going to be running the meetings, helping with events. You guys know all that's entailed, and we'll open up that nomination now.
I will place in nomination the current chair to continue. Kelly, will you please?
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I will second that motion as long as she is interested in continuing her role as she fantastically executes for us. I second that motion.
Thank you.
All right, anybody want to have a discussion before we call it to a vote? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Congratulations again.
All right,
You
well,
do a
thank you.
wonderful job. We're glad to have you still on board.
Thank you. All right.
Congratulations and
Thank-
thank you for the good job.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for the board for believing in me. I will do it again for the following year, I promise. All right. So now we're going to roll into some unfinished business, and it's more just updates on all the wonderful park improvements that are going on. So I'll throw it to Lorena.
All righty, thank you very much. Let me get this going. Bollinger Park Phase 1, the site plan was approved at the June 22nd Planning Commission meeting, contingent on the remaining final approval letters from the various county agencies. Some of them are still reviewing changes and such. Fences and trees near the neighbors' property lines were a factor with the commission's decision, and it was decided to install these at the proper point of park construction toward the tail end of the construction. The contract award for both the infrastructure and the porous pathway went to Hobbs Excavating, which I was very pleased about. They've done a great job on all of our city projects that we've used them for, so they're gonna do a great job on this park as well. Still hoping to break ground this fall, probably towards the end of October. We applied also for a mini grant through the Chesapeake Bay Trust Fund for $5,000. If we are awarded that, it's gonna go towards our Pollinator Garden, because they like those ecological projects that involve the community. So hoping that we do get that. Do you want me to just continue to roll on then? through the
Does anybody
unfinished
have any
business?
questions in regards to Bollinger?
Lorena, in terms
Yes.
of the Pollinator Garden, if those funds were awarded, what would be the projected time frame for that addition? Would that probably be spring
Yes.
23? Okay.
Yes, that's going to be spring. I'd like for the trail to be poured and finished before we get in there and start, putting little connector trails through the Pollinator Garden, and that way we know exactly where we're tying those in. And those are gonna be natural trails in the Pollinator Garden, just a couple of them with some scenic rocks and, whatever with all the pollinator plants. But yes, that's definitely gonna be in the spring, early summer. Any other questions? Got it?
No, I think we're good.
Okay,
All right.
all right, I'll roll on. Regular park improvements, Pavilion 1 at Memorial Park now has a concrete floor, looks really nice, so we are, this is one down, and we've already had number 3 done, so we have 3 more to go. I think the next one is gonna be number 4 next year. I just wanna keep going with the cinder block pavilions. The smaller pavilions all had concrete floors redone, so they look very nice as well. There are also concrete pads at the pavilions and the large playground for trash cans and recycling receptacles to go on those. So those will look nice. Those are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. Excuse me. Fencing. The chain link fencing at Field 1 and 3 was replaced. Field 1 had the backstop and the infield replaced, and Field 3 was a complete all around the ball diamond replacement. So I think they still need to get some gates installed, but then that's that. The July 12th storm that we had, I'm sure everybody remembers that. It was really bad. It ripped part of the roof of the grandstand off at Field 1. This is the second time that this has happened. So that's going through insurance. And hopefully we'll get a contractor out to get that fixed up and hopefully fixed for good, something a little more sturdy that can withstand some storms. We are moving forward with the Skatepark Rehab project. The council approved the contract agreement with American Ramp Company. They are beginning the design for the concrete portion. So as you're coming into THS Park from Roberts Mill Road and the skate park is on your right, the concrete portion is going to be the back part of it that's adjacent to the softball field there. And then the rest of it, the asphalt, is just going to be, Hobbs Excavating is going to be doing that as well. They're going to be crack sealing and putting a new overlay on that. And we'll still use the equipment that we have out there now. It'll just be pushed over on the asphalt side because the concrete portion will have all of the ramps and steps and all that kind of good stuff. We will be holding a meeting with the skate community to get their feedback on that design because I want them to have a buy-in and I want them to have a say in what they would like to have, of course, within the budget. I mean, so we'll work within that and make some adjustments as they give us their feedback, so. Roberts Mill Park Playground now has that xylophone musical piece, which Bill, you and Kelly and I had seen when we went on those field trips
Emmitsburg.
last year. I think it was, it was at Emmitsburg, yeah. So that piece is at Roberts Mill Park Playground now. I love it, and everybody who's gone there, who's tried it out, has loved it too. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from people. Also, there's a bench that's been installed there now. So if you're sitting on that bench at the playground, you can look at the playground and you see all of the park, the pond, the fountain, everything. It's very, very nice view. And people can, keep tabs on their kids as well, hopefully. And we've got a local Boy Scout who's interested in building a shade structure over the bench. So that would be nice as well. So that's still in development. He's got to get all of his ducks in a row and then go to his Eagle Scout review committee and all that. And also at Roberts Mill Park, we are installing additional field lighting. These are going to be LEDs, and hopefully that'll be finished within the next couple of 3 weeks. And that will enable soccer to have more field time practices and games for their fall season and their early spring as well next year. So that's good. So that's all I have for park improvements. Anybody have any question on any of those? Any questions?
So the lighting on the field at Roberts Mill?
Yes.
We're just adding the lights. They're just,
Well, we're adding lights on one of the already existing poles to
Right,
light up the
okay.
fields that are
Yep, the
more
other
behind
ones.
Food Lion, where the fence is behind Food Lion. And then we're also installing a new pole on the, is it Monocacy Circle? I think, yeah. Projecting in towards the fields.
okay.
So realistically, they could have lighting on all of the fields. That will give them extended playtime. Yes, indeed. Because I know right now they're using those fields, fields at Northwest Middle, and the fields at THS Park as well. So if we can get them more time at Roberts Mill, then that's less time that they would need in THS Park, so that benefits softball as well.
Yes.
They can have some more room there to spread out a little bit.
And I think I saw that the shed's gone at Taneytown High School.
Yes, sorry, yep, that storage
that's
building
beautiful.
is up, everybody's got their stuff in it, soccer and softball, and those ugly dilapidated sheds are gone now. So it looks much nicer over there, yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful park when we get the Skatepark Rehab done, and the dugouts, the softball dugouts that our guys put up look fantastic, they really do.
No, they're great.
Yeah,
And Public Works did that,
yes,
correct?
they did,
They did a
great
wonderful job. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Any additional questions on park improvements?
No, just a comment.
Yeah.
Great job.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, great job.
Well, it's Public Works, you know, and our contractors. I mean, our guys are just great. They're out there every day in the heat, in the cold. I mean, they're better than the Postal Service, for sure. So they work hard, very hard.
Even the additions that might seem a little bit smaller in scale, but are thoughtful,
Yeah,
and placed properly, like you said, a bench that sits there facing the playground, but the pond in the background. I mean, just nice and a nice addition to the existing park. So just everything is fantastic.
well, thank you. And I couldn't do it without Public Works, so we thank them so much. It's just amazing what they do, what they accomplish, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I was up at Memorial Park, up around the Field 1 for the first time about a week ago. Saw the new scoreboard for the first time.
Yes,
so-
that's right. I forgot about the new scoreboard. That's right. Yep. If you talk with Ricky or Mark, can you let them know the remote control panel for that scoreboard is in my office? I've been trying to get a hold of them so we can meet up so that somebody can use that scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, though, I guess fall ball will be starting up in about a month, so.
Yeah. They will be. They'll be looking for it
It's
then.
been, I mean, I played baseball in that field as a kid, and it's been a long time since I've seen a score on a scoreboard.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So, like, it's awesome that they have that again. So.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it, yeah. Hopefully everything works well. Rodkey did all of the electrical work on that, so I'm sure that part will be fine. It's just gonna be a learning curve with the remote control panel. That thing is like a computer keyboard. I mean, it's pretty complicated. I mean, just me looking at it. I don't know. Hopefully somebody will learn how to use it. They'll have to.
All right. Then I guess we can move on then to update on the events.
Okay. The Family Fun Food Truck Friday on July 22nd went well, despite the heat. It was a very hot evening. We had a lot of families who came out to enjoy the festivities and pick up some dinner from the food trucks, so that was good. The yoga sessions that have been running since the end of June have been very successful. Again, despite the heat, but luckily, Sean Essa, the yoga instructor, is able to find shady spots in the park to hold those classes. So they will continue through August 30th. The tennis clinics are wrapping up tomorrow. We had a total of 13 registrations. Last year, we had 22. But last year, the clinics were held in July. So I'm not sure if August, if we're getting into like fall sports signups and practices,
so,
some of
yeah.
it somewhere. Vacations, people are thinking about back to school stuff already and they don't want to register their kids for anything. I mean, I don't know.
Did Did the tennis people change it, or did we change it?
They changed it. Yeah, the instructor changed it.
So you
Yeah.
had a conversation with them about,
Yeah, we are, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to July next year for that, yes.
since this didn't have a good turnout.
Right, and we started advertising that in May. So the other thing that we're gonna run, hopefully we still can, but it looks doubtful now, is the Hapkido martial arts classes in the park. The instructor Stephanie Sullivan, who runs the Hapkido studio here in town, got the information to me. We put it out there as soon as we had it put together. But again, we've got like 3 registrations, and her minimum is 10 to hold it. So if we don't get, 7 registrations in the next couple of days, then we're just gonna call it. Again, not last year, but the year before, when we held it in July, we held 2 because they were so successful. We had, multiple classes because we had so many registrants. So she's gonna offer a 2-week free trial, 2-week free sessions, and then a back-to-school discount if they sign up with her in the studio. It's kind of like a consolation of, well, thank you for registering, but we had to cancel the class. So instead, come
That would
on
be
down to the
nice,
studio, yeah, and you get 2 free weeks plus the discount. So next year, again, I'm gonna try to aim for July and hopefully get some more registrations. The other thing too, and this is something that we noticed, I think, at the fishing derby as well, because we had less registrations, is that a lot of kids were going across the parking lot, across the fields to soccer, because spring sports, fall sports, early practices and stuff like that will come into play for this kind of stuff. So at least for those kind of classes and events, summer, late spring and summer are probably the best times to hold those.
Yeah, I think July would be perfect for that, because don't they start football, like,
Towards the end of July,
July,
they do,
you
yes.
know? So that's the safe zone before, yeah.
Like most of your rec, like sports wrap up in June. Now some of the
Second week of June or so.
some of the travel
right.
teams play a little longer with baseball and stuff, but yeah, like most of it's wrapped up. So like the end of June and July is kind of
Right,
the downtime, I
Yeah, the
guess.
safe zone.
right.
Lorena, was there any particular reason that these events were moved from July to August on the scheduling this year, or was it just something to kind of?
That's just how the instructors put it together for
Gotcha.
me, yeah. But in speaking with both of them, we know now, okay, next year we've got to bump it up to July to capture all of those registrations, yeah. But the tennis clinics were going very well, and on the new courts too, so that was nice, yeah, to see that going on. And speaking of new courts, Coach X's basketball camp is actually continuing through to September, because he had to postpone a couple of Saturdays there due to the weather. Weather had kind of put a crush on it. But feedback from him, Coach Smith, is that it's been a popular and well-received program, so he wants to run it again next year. So that'll be good. And I think that's successful too, because first of all, it's basketball. We don't really have a lot of, other than the normal basketball at FSK, and I know they're part of our TAA, but there's not a lot of interaction right here in Taneytown for that. So I think that offered a great option for kids who were interested in that. Plus, and it's only a couple of hours on a Saturday morning too, instead of a weeknight. Maybe that has some bearing on the success of that. Let's see, the Reading in the Parks contest kicked off this week. We have a few picture entries already on that. Prizes include toys and books for the children and gift cards to local businesses for the grown-ups. So that'll be nice, yeah. We were going to, already read that. Oh, sorry. I'm like getting off my notes here. There's so much. Harvest Festival on September 24th is shaping up. We have 13 vendors signed up, and I've reserved the bounce houses, the pony rides, the petting zoo, the face painter. We have 3, maybe 4 food trucks lined up. Waiting to hear from Brandy Bollinger about whether the Lions Club can be there or not. Twisted Blues Band will be performing from the gazebo, and we'll also have the straw maze again and the hay rides going. So that'll be fun. So let's hope for good weather on that Saturday, the 24th. 2 car shows, FSK FFA Alumni Association's Car, Truck, and Motorcycle Show at Memorial Park on July 16th went really well. They've already put a tentative hold on July 15th next year.
That's awesome.
They just had a great day for it. And someone who saw that decided that he wanted to hold a car show as well. So that would be the Alyssa Richards Memorial Car Show, and that's on October 16th. That's also at Memorial Park. And council just approved that special event permit for that one. Yep. So that is what I've got going on events.
Well, that's a lot. Yeah,
So a little bit.
just a few.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Any additional miscellaneous
Like
updates?
success sometimes breeds success.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
That's how you start, yep.
The only other miscellaneous update I have is just to mention that Public Works continues to take care of our small improvement and maintenance projects, small and some large. They are taking a temporary break from parks-related projects in order to catch up on their other jobs. So the next big project they're going to be doing for us will be the dog park and Roberts Mill Park. So that's going to hopefully happen in the mid-fall,
Okay.
depending on their schedules, but definitely when it's cooler out.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, they don't. need
that's
to be
all I
working.
have for old
Okay.
business or unfinished business.
Anybody have any questions, comments? Good?
Yeah.
All right. And then we get to talk about more events, post-events.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go into Independence Day celebration.
Yeah. I think everything went well. How many of you were there? You know, like everybody was there? I mean, I think it went well. I think we'll go ahead and use the same formula for next year. Things kicking off at 6 o'clock, the food trucks there, the DJ, some games, and then the fireworks at 9:30. Just a comparison, remember the year before, we did the whole shebang with the pony rides and the was it a slip and slide or something like that, some kind of water feature thing? Exactly, yeah. This year, we spent $7,575 to put the event on. Keep in mind, 6,200 of that was just for the fireworks alone. And that's not on the 4th discount. But that's compared to almost 12,000 that we spent last year with the fireworks and all of the other entertainment options.
And it still went off very well. I mean, more
Yeah.
families gathered together, did fun things, together, so
Yeah, the food trucks did really well.
the food trucks did very
The
well.
crowd was, I thought the crowd was pretty huge.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. And fantastic fireworks. They put on truly a fantastic show.
Yeah, they did a great show.
Yeah, they really do a good job. So we're already booking with them for next year. I think it's going to be on July 3rd, I believe, with a rain date of the 5th. So again, we're just trying to stay away from the 4th because the price doubles for having your fireworks on the 4th. Gotta save that taxpayer money as much as we can and still give them a lovely community event. So that's all I have on that one. Did anybody have any questions or suggestions or anything?
No, I just would say I agree. I think, it was a great night. I mean, I was there. There was lines at the food truck, people, out with their families, as you mentioned. The fireworks were great. The weather cooperated, which was fantastic. But, saving that money and still having a great night, I think for everybody is definitely the way to go. Obviously, book these guys again. They're great with the
Yes.
fireworks. That was a
And I
great
think
show.
the food trucks did quite well, because there was like a line at every one of them pretty much all
That's
night.
true. Yeah, yeah. Everybody did really well on that one.
Yeah, it was a fantastic.
Especially the
night.
ice cream and the snowballs.
Yeah, yeah, they were good.
Oh, yeah. But are we doing a slip and slide for Food Truck Friday next year?
Do you think we should? It'll probably be really
know.
hot. I mean, it's like typically the third week of July, so it's
Yeah, we
usually
could've
pretty
used
hot.
that. I mean, yeah, we
that-
could've used that.
really, really. Well, next year,
know.
remember, we're gonna do, and maybe for Wine Fest too, if we move Wine Fest, as we had said, to like the second Saturday in June. Fun Events has the Mister Fans misting tents.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
kids would
thinking,
appreciate that,
I think, yeah, definitely for family
volunteers
fun
would
food
appreciate
truck.
that as well.
Yeah, yeah, really, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for the Independence Day just because since that kicks off at 6, that doesn't seem to make much sense to have that. But definitely the Food Truck Friday, because that starts at 5, but we're all there earlier than that, and people come down there earlier to get in there. And then definitely for Wine Fest. Just think of the difference it would have made, I think, if we had had a misting fans or a Mr. Tent, misting tent for Wine Fest. I mean, well, that one lady from the one, I forgot which winery it was, but she almost passed out. We had to have her in the
It was
football
Whittle,
kitchen,
only
football fieldhouse
winery.
kitchen,
Yeah, she
air
almost
conditioning.
passed out. Yeah, so that would have been helpful for her to like. cool down.
Yes,
So.
yes, indeed, yeah. Yep,
Can never plan the weather with events. I wish we could. but-
right.
Yeah.
Watch, next year we'll book these Mr.
And it'll be
Fans and
60
tents. Yeah,
degrees.
exactly. Nice and chilly. Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah,
That's
we'll-
the
we'll
way it
do-
goes.
We'll do icicles or, yeah,
yeah.
terrible.
And then do you just want me to go into family movie night? Okay. Well, speaking of the weather, it wasn't very cooperative for our first 2 attempts. The first one just completely rained out, and then the second one, a thunderstorm looked like it was going to be rolling in. We could see it on the horizon. Thunder or lightning everywhere. We're looking at the radar. We're like, okay, we're just going to call it. Ironically, that movie was The Wizard of Oz, so. But then it just seemed to skirt us and go away. However, people were thinking it's going to storm. Nobody was there. I mean, so it was kind of a no-brainer just to postpone it. So this past Saturday, we held the first one. It was Luca, the movie Luca. It was a really cute movie, and we probably had about 20 people there, including the kids and the event people. So I think it was a successful showing, just in the fact that we were able to actually bring it off, and and there were people there who came. I think the word has gotten out now, and I'm hoping that this Saturday's showing of Encanto will be even better attended. I think it probably will be. I've seen a lot of traffic out there on Facebook and sharing and tagging people and such, so that's good. And then the last one is going to be August 20th, and that's when we're going to be trying to show The Wizard of Oz, if the weather cooperates. And these movies are all free, so we hope that the community will avail themselves of that free family entertainment.
Absolutely. Take advantage of free when you can, right?
Yeah.
All right, does anybody have any questions regarding anything that Lorena went through?
No.
Okay. And that is everything you have?
That's everything I have, yep.
Okay. Well, this could be, all right. So we'll go into reports. Councilwoman Fuller, do you have anything from council to?
I was gonna say, the only thing I could mention is that after you get the approvals for all the our park stuff, I think if you shot an email out to all the council, they'd appreciate it, because they are very excited and anxious for
Okay.
all of the steps that are coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was the one main thing is we kept saying, oh, but it's all dependent, so I think, yeah, if we could just let everybody. know.
Yes,
Or
I
let
will-
me know and I'll let them know.
Okay,
When
yeah.
all of the approvals come through. We can
okay.
Keep them updated on that.
Yes, well, and when it gets to the point where we are ready to have construction start, we will definitely have a ceremonial groundbreaking there. So where, hopefully we get you guys there and the council and the mayor, of course. And,
Long time coming.
pre-construction meetings with Department of Natural Resources and National Park Service, and, because they all want to see what's going on as well, as they should. It's their grant money that they're giving out, so.
Absolutely. All right, and then anything from you personally, not just as a councilwoman?
Oh my gosh, right? No, again, always just so impressed with how efficient everything has been going, and love how much
yeah.
Public Works has been
Oh, they're doing an awesome
following
job.
your lead. I think that has a lot
Yeah.
to do with it, is your relationship with them, and it's much appreciated.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, Lorena's doing an awesome job. I don't know how she does it. She must keep busy as soon as she walks in until,
Yeah.
probably lots of late nights too. But, I mean, you're making it happen. I mean, I can see, I mean, every single thing that's added to every part is definitely, like, you can tell. And you're like, oh, it looks fantastic. So, if we keep improving, it's just going to be amazing. So, no, everything looks good. Every park I've been to is just amazing. So, thank you for all of your hard work. And of course, Public Works. What can I say? They've been on it, so thank you. Yeah, we owe them food and
Oh, yeah,
or
I
something.
know,
We owe
seriously,
them
I
something.
need to give them another Pizza Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, let me know, and I'll be glad to chip in, because they have definitely kept busy, so. All right, so on to that. If we don't have anything else, do we have any comments from the board? I'll start with you.
I have a question,
Yes.
Got a question?
not that it makes a whole lot of difference one way or another, but are there checks coming?
They should be, yeah.
I have not received.
You
one.
haven't? Did you? No one? Okay, all right. I'm gonna make a note then, because I'll ask, because I'm not sure if they're doing, like, front loading, like, okay.
Well, I
Even
figure
so, you
even
should
if
have
the-
gotten
Even it's the
July.
30th, it was the 30th for
Right,
July.
right, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Like I say, not that it makes a whole lot of difference one way or another, but
It's nice to know what's going on.
Yeah, I
just
will,
hoping nothing got lost in the mail or something.
well, obviously not, yeah, if no one has received them, and you all should have received one starting July, so I will check on the checks. Yes.
On the checks. Jerry, anything?
Nope.
Amen, anything?
Just a brief comment. A couple years down the line, I know it was brought up at times in the past, and obviously continues to be a part of a conversation in these very hot summer months. But if we as a town could ever in the future consider a water feature or option,
Yes.
I know Sykesville recently introduced a splash pad to one of their
Yes.
parks. It just is always, splash pads are always a great option, you know, you
Yeah.
can stay free from the pool and not have to worry about that whole aspect. But still give everybody a fun opportunity to, you know, stay cool and, you know, enjoy the park for that feature. So I know it's been talked about in the past, and obviously there's a lot of barriers and cost features, things like that, but just something to think about in the future. And then I was also just wondering, Lorena, if you know anything about any of the new communities going in, whether they are going to have pools or anything like
Meads
that.
Crossing is going to have a swimming pool and a small community center. They also have a dog park. I know the dog park is already open.
Sure.
Natasha worked on that. I believe Natasha Doan at Cedar Hedge Farm. I've been communicating with her about the Pollinator Garden at Bollinger, and she told me that she had done some work there at the dog park at Bollinger, at Meads Crossing. So they are, but I believe that that is going to be closed to the outside of their community, right? Exactly.
It's part of their HOA fee. I mean,
Right.
they
Yeah.
pay for it, so.
So,
Yes,
so I
yeah.
guess my comment would be directed towards, with some of these new communities popping up in Taneytown, and having some of these amenities, I think it would be nice to consider options in the future for the rest of Taneytown residents to be able to have something similar or comparable.
Absolutely, yeah, yep. That's why definitely the dog park. I know that's been desired for a little while as well, and that is something that we can afford with doing it in-house with our Public Works guys doing such a great job on fences and such. Sykesville obtained grant money for that splash pad. That was through Department of Natural Resources, Community Parks and Playgrounds. So It's my intent to, the next time I go for a community park playground grant, to put in that application for a splash pad at Memorial Park. We've already got the water lines there. So it would really only just take a little bit of configuration to get something installed there. Doesn't have to be huge, like Hershey Park or anything like that, but.
I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't object to anything.
Right, yeah, really. But just something enough, and with enough features to keep the kids entertained and cooled off, and the adults too. And like you said, that is so much easier than a swimming pool where you need to have lifeguards and there's a greater risk of injury or drowning.
More of a liability.
Right, more of a liability and higher maintenance costs, exactly. Yes.
And I think that's what created the issue
Right.
with our pool the last time. It was
Right.
just maintenance that was never dealt with.
Exactly, pushed off until it was just not cost effective to even repair it. So that's definitely something I'm going for. Right now, we have 2 community parks and playgrounds grants open. One's for Bollinger, so hopefully we'll be closing that out soon.
Right.
And then the other one is for the Skatepark Rehab, and we'll be moving forward on that and getting that wrapped up, so hopefully we can get that. Then once we've got a clean slate with them, I'm going for it. Gonna go for it to get a splash pad. Yeah, I think Sykesville's was, I wanna say it was a little bit over $300,000. And they got probably about half of that from Community Parks and Playgrounds grant funding.
How many features did they have, or?
I don't recall. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
I thought I
Yeah.
saw a picture, but I can't.
I forgot the square footage of it,
Okay.
but it's doable, and
I mean,
there's
that
grant
is-
money
that
out there.
is doable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. And I think right now, and that's not to say we're not going to be able to do it. I mean, it's been more, I think, on Lorena's part, more maintenance and updating, since she's been here, is like just finding
Yeah.
all the things that need to be fixed and getting them fixed and staying on top of it. So I think you have a better
Right, well, we have.
on what we can do now.
Right,
if
what we
stay
can
with the
do.
maintenance.
And just to know that this administration has been very supportive too in allocating, funding to these park projects that really are important to the community. I mean, they are.
Absolutely. Well, that would be exciting down the road, yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. Nobody else has anything? Going once, going twice? All right. So our next meeting date is going to be September 14th, and that is going to be with TAA, and then that will roll into our meeting. Lorena, just an update. Did you get updated schedules from any TAA members of
I got football and I've received soccer.
September
14th?
14th.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, football, soccer's schedules, so I'm still waiting for baseball and softball for their
Okay.
fall schedules, fall ball.
And then everybody knows about then September 24th for them not to be in the park, or they are?
Yes.
Or- Okay.
Yes. Baseball is seeing if maybe they can get some evening games in,
Okay,
so, yeah.
wonderful. All right. So September 14th starts at 6:30 with the Athletic Association, and then we'll roll into ours. With that, if we have nothing additional, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll take a second.
Second.
All right, so those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and we're good. All right, have a good night. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so